Hello, 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 and welcome to day 27, friend. How's it going? Happy Tuesday. Hopefully, you have an amazing day. But I'm happy that you are joining me here today. If you are new, drop a one in the chat. Let me, introduce yourself. Say where you're joining from. And if you are like here every day, thank you so much for joining. I'm here on Instagram and on my YouTube channel at SMM Realty Group, living in Montgomery. So if you're not over there, definitely when you're done watching here on Instagram, definitely go over to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my channel because I want to grow my channel as well there too. So do me a favor if you don't mind, go over there and subscribe. But come on in, say hello. How's your Tuesday going? Before I get started, I had an amazing lunch at this Thai restaurant, which is one of my favorite places to eat. So definitely, if you are ever around me, know that we're gonna be eating some Thai food. But welcome, friends. Happy Tuesday, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how you can be buyers ready, how to be a buyer who's ready to purchase. Okay. All right, come on in, y'all. So if you're new, I am Shevvymac, a retired Air Force veteran after 22 plus years of serving United States Air Force. Now, what I do, I have my leadership business, but I also have my real estate business, and I help first-time home buyers and individuals looking to purchase their next home to buy that home with confidence and ease. It's not only about helping you to purchase your next home, but truly educating you on making the best choice for yourself and your family. So as you move into the home, 60 days, 90 days later, you're not sitting there with regrets, but you're sitting there with happiness, joy, and confidence that, hey, this is the house that I really wanted to purchase. Okay. So come on in. So today I want to talk about how you can be buyers ready to when you're ready to purchase your first home. And the first thing that you want to make sure that you do is your credit. Okay. Definitely your credit is key. So, and the reason I want to start with credit is because that is the foundation of making sure that you are able to be qualified, number one. And number two, making sure that you're able to get a great interest rate during that process. And things that you want to make sure that your credit score is up to par, meaning that it's in the high 7 to 800, 7 to 800, which is definitely ideal. Yes, you can purchase home with lower credit scores, but it also is going to cost you at a higher interest rate. So these are things that I'm going to just share with you as a first-time home buyer to make sure that you are ready to purchase your first home. Welcome, Just Lovely Lace. Thank you so much for joining me here. You've been here definitely consistently every single day. So thank you for that. And I appreciate you. But today I am talking about how you can be buyers ready to purchase your home, how to be ready as a buyer to purchase your first home. And I'm going to really start off with talking about credit score. So, and I shared already when it comes to your credit score, that's where you want to start. That is the foundation, because in order to get the loan approved, in order to get the interest rate that you're looking for, your credit score has to be really good. Yes, you can get a home loan with a lower credit score based on different programs that are out there, but also sometimes that comes with a stipulations, of course. But definitely, if you are like, hey, I want to move forward, I want to make sure that I get the best deal on this journey as I go into this journey of purchasing my home, then definitely these are things that you want to make sure. One, you want to look at your credit score, like really look at not even your credit score. Yeah. First, identify your credit score. Yes. So identify your credit score to see where you're at. You can use, you get the annual report, which I haven't done in a long time, but you can definitely look up, how to get your free annual credit score. Also, you can reach out to the different bureaus and see from Equifax, TransUnion, Experian to see exactly, okay, where do you stand in sense of your credit score? Okay, so really understand where you're at when it comes to your credit score. And if you're like, okay, my credit score is 500, then we have some work to do. And I'm going to be transparent before I even purchased a home or even thought about purchasing a home. So you might be like, hey, I'm only in my 20s, I'm not even thinking about buying a home, so I'm not worried about my credit score. And I need you to be making sure that you have your credit score good to go. Just like I tell my daughter, she's 18 and she's like, I want a credit card. I'm like, pump your brakes. Like, guess what? You can have a credit card, but you have to be strategic and, careful, because as a teenager, we spend. And as a teenager, I was spending. I had a Sears credit card, and your girl was shopping, buying TVs and clothes at 18 and 19. And that affected my credit score. Hey, Lee, thank you for joining, Chief Lee. And that definitely affected my credit score. So today I'm talking about how to be buyers ready, to make sure that you are ready to buy and purchase that home by making sure that you have all these things in place beforehand. So as I was sharing, so definitely your credit score is key. And when I was, 18, 19, before I joined the military, I was, dating and buying stuff, meeting my boyfriend at the time, and he was making the payments. But after we broke up, he stopped paying. So guess who was left with the payments? Me. So really look at your credit score. And my credit score at the time, before I joined the military, it was like, and I wasn't even tracking it, but when I started applying for other credit cards, I got declined, which again impacts your ability to get more credit. And so, but my credit score was low. It was, I think it was like either 500 or maybe under. But again, I was 19, young, didn't know any better. But as someone who's looking to purchase your first home, knowing your credit score and knowing the debts that you have in place is key. So if you have a credit score that's like 7 something, close to 800, amazing, continue to do what you're doing. But if you're not, like most individuals who are young and still trying to figure out life, your credit score, or maybe as an adult, maybe you've made some choices that has impacted your ability to purchase a home because of whatever decision you made in the past. So these are things that you can do as well too. So this is not only for young individuals, but anyone. Okay. So really identify what is your credit score, and then identify, okay, what are all the debts that I have currently right now? Like really think about debts that you have. Is it a school loan? Is it an apartment that you forgot to pay? Is it credit card that you racked up in college? Is it credit cards that you're just racking up now to buy clothes and whatever the case may be? Is it a loan that you took up from a bank a while back that you have not, paid off? So really look and identify what are all the debts that you have. And then you want to compare that to what you're actually bringing home. And when you're looking at, okay, my debt to ratio is like, my debt is here higher than my income, then you have to look at, how can I start bringing this to switch to be the opposite, to where your debt is here and now your income is up here. Because when it comes to the bank, that's what they're looking for. They're looking to see, okay, where's your debt to asset ratio? So if you have a lot of debt, it impacts your credit score. I know when I was applying for a loan a couple years ago, I was applying for a credit card, and this was like a small amount for my business. And the person informed me that, hey, because your debt, even though it's business debt, you get a score. You get a score between you start with 100%, and then the more debt that you have, that percentage go down lower and lower, which impacts your ability to get loans, get credit cards, and so forth. So you want to really look at, when it comes to your debt, how much debt do you have in place? And be realistic and say, okay, with all these debts that I have right now, if you have 5, we'll say 5, like really identify, okay, I have $20,000 in debt, for example. And this encompasses 5 different areas. Could be credit cards, could be a loan, could be a car payment. It could be various. It could be different things. Okay, or different variables. So you definitely want to look at, okay, which one has the highest interest rate? And the one with the highest interest rate, you want to start paying that one off faster, because again, the higher the interest rate, the more money you're paying, because more money is going towards the interest instead of the principal of that specific credit card or the loan. Okay, so I do have a question from Just Lovely Lace. Let me move my computer over a little bit because I have to look at my screen. And your question is, okay, she said, not a question. I have to, let me move it. Okay, not a question, but But just so much of a statement. When I decided to start my home buying journey, I did exactly what you said. Putting my credit report, pulling my credit report, finding out what exactly is on there. Yes, so true. Like really identify, pulling your credit report is okay, what exactly is on my credit report, which impacts my ability to get this loan or this credit card. And when you're able to identify what's on there, and some things are probably like, hey, I paid this off a long time ago, then you can contact, the different agencies and say, hey, I paid this off. Here's my receipt, and that will come off your credit report, which I think takes about 3 days. I'm not a credit repair person, so I'm just sharing from my knowledge and my experience, but definitely that is number one. Identify your credit score, what you have in your credit report, and then look at how you can start paying those debts off. Because the more that you can pay down your debt, the more that you can increase the loan amount that you may get from that bank. So key is pay off your debt, pay off your debt, pay off your debt, which is key. You start with the highest interest rate and then you start paying down. Because what I've learned, even for me, like I have a credit card, and I've had this credit card for years, and I've used it on multiple things for vacation, all different things. And the interest rate is like only 10%, but still for me, that is still too high. And when I pay, say, for example, if I pay $500, half of that is going towards the interest, which is like, okay, but because this credit card is high, I'm paying more. So I need to make sure that I am paying extra on top of that to bring that down, because all of my debt impacts my credit score. I do have a really good credit score, but still I am bringing my debt down as well, so I can have more asset than debt. So same concept for you as a first-time home buyer. This is definitely something that you want to make sure that you're doing. And you may feel like overwhelmed that, oh my goodness, I have all this debt right now. But do understand, friend, that you can get to a place where you're able to reduce your debt. And I know you might be thinking like, I don't have the extra money. Yes, you do. And this comes with you looking at what are some things that I'm spending money on that I don't need, and it's more of a want. And that could be shopping. That could be going out for entertainment, more than you need to. It could be spending a lot on food. I tell my daughter all the time, she's always, ordering Uber Eats. And I'm like, girl, there's food in here, or you can make yourself something, but they rather teenager pay for the food plus delivery, which is like you're paying $20, more, or $15 more for something that you could have just drove yourself and got for like $6-7. But again, I digress from a mom, sharing, but this is the same thing. Just like you as a first-time home buyer, you're probably spending, not really tracking your money. So you're like thinking, I don't have the resources to pay down my debts, when in actuality, you do. You can get support. But if you become disciplined, which is part of the process, becoming disciplined to make sure that you are tracking your finances, especially if you're like, it is your journey, it is your wish to be like, hey, I want to be a homeowner in 2024, then I highly recommend that you do exactly not exactly, but you can take what I just shared. I'm not saying this is what you can take and apply to your own personal life, because the goal for you more than likely is to purchase your next home. So we talked about credit score, and also we talked about paying down your debt, and also things that, when the credit companies, look for, you look at your payment history. Because again, at the end of the day, the bank wants to know you can actually pay this mortgage. It's a business. At the end of the day, the bank would like to know, are you able to afford this mortgage? And when they see that you have more debt than income, guess what? They don't see you as being dependable to pay them back. And this is part of your payment history. If they look at your payment history and they see that you're always late making payments, or you don't make payments, then guess what? They're not going to trust you to take on this $300,000 or $200,000 loan, or even $100,000 plus loan. They don't trust you to pay them back on time, because the bank, they're in business to make money, and they make money by charging interest on these loans. And if you cannot afford the mortgage plus your personal life, then they're not going to trust you to get this hundreds of thousands of dollars, which, because again, they don't want you to go into foreclosure, because what's going to happen if you can't pay your debt, you go in long term, you will more than likely go into foreclosure and so forth, which impacts your credit more, and it also impacts the bank. Also, they look at the amount of money that you owe. Again, debt to ratio. Do you have more debt than income? Also, if you are really thinking about purchasing your new home this year, do not open another credit card. Do not make a big purchase, because all that is going to add to your debt. Okay, so if you're really looking at saving and paying down your debts, do not go and add more debt to your portfolio. Okay, because the bank is going to see that, hey, just last month you just made a big purchase for, say, for example, you say, hey, I want to treat myself to a new car because I haven't had a new car in 13 years. Wait until after you purchase the home. Okay, because now the bank is looking like, okay, now you just got a $20,000 or $30,000 debt added on to your monthly payment. Can you afford this based on the debt to ratio framework that they're going to use to determine, yes, you can afford this mortgage plus utilities and all the things. So keep that in mind. We already talked about paying off debt. Save money, set aside money as much as you can, because again, this is money that you're going to need for down payment. This is money that you're going to need for closing costs and so forth, and your earnest money as well too. Like I said already, no big purchases. So the biggest thing to get yourself ready to be buyers ready, to be in that position to say, yes, I want to hire a realtor. Yes, I'm ready to go house hunting, look for homes. You got to make sure your credit is on point. You got to make sure that your debt to ratio is lower compared to your what you have income wise. Make sure that you have money saved up, and make sure that you have a plan of exactly, okay, what am I looking for in the home, which I talked about this already. But again, I want to reiterate this to you to say, hey, as the buyer, you need to be clear on exactly what is it that you want for the home, because all of the credit, your credit information, your debt information, your saving information, all of that impacts what you will end up purchasing in the end. Okay. Let me know if there are any questions or anything else that you would add in here as well too. And some of these lives are overlapping, because again, it's all about making sure that you are aware of, I'm going to repeat some things, which is fine, but it's just, again, I love to bring the knowledge, because as an educator, it's not me just selling you, but me educating you exactly, hey, these are things that you want to start thinking about. These are the things that you want to make sure you have in place, so where when you do ready to go get an approval from approval letter from the bank, they already like, hey, this person has a credit score of 600, 700 or some change, or this person debt to ratio is, great compared to someone else. So, and I have, individuals who have spoken to me within the last couple months who are trying to purchase a home, but their credit is not where it needs to be. But I gave them insight like, hey, these are things that, you want to do. You can talk to the bank. Also, the bank will let you know exactly what you need to do. When I say the bank, a mortgage manager will let you know what you need to do to kind of be pre-approved with them and so forth. So definitely there are a lot of resources out there. It is up to you as the person who's looking to purchase their next home to take that initiative, to go out and do your research, to go out and talk to a realtor, to go out and, speak to someone at the bank to kind of get some, insight and resources of what you need to do to move forward. All right. So let me know if there are any questions. You can drop a Q in the chat if they are, and I'll pause for a second, but just kind of recap very quickly. This live was all about helping you to be buyers ready as a first-time home buyer. And the first thing is making sure that you are aware of what your credit score is, and also making sure that you're aware of your debt to ratio, what all you have when it comes to your debt, and how are you paying those things off, because it is key for you to have get approved, but also have a really nice interest rate as well too. So definitely make sure that you are applying these things to get to the point where you are ready to buy and purchase. Also, pay off your debt, like I talked about, save money, which again, so that you can put down for your earnest money, your closing costs, and also for your down payment as well too. And don't buy anything big. If you're looking to buy this year or anytime, don't go splurging, don't go spending. It's even after you put an offer in the home, don't go spending, because nothing is solidified until you are signing those documents and you're sitting at the table that last day to say, hey, this house is mine. Then you can go buy whatever you want. But during that time frame, do not buy any big things, because it also is going to continue to impact your credit score, which will showcase that you have more debt. So yes. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for joining me. If there are no questions, I'm going to just wait for a couple seconds, 10 seconds. But if you are watching this later on, #replay, you can just drop your questions in the chat, and I would love to come back and answer your questions, but also connect with you. But if you're in the market and you are in the Montgomery and surrounding areas here in Montgomery, Alabama, then definitely I would love to support you as your realtor. I am part of the KW Montgomery team. So if you're like, hey, I know Shevvy, you can reach out to me. You can send me a DM, or you can also email me at you can email me at shevvymac@kw.com, and I'll be happy to serve you. So as always, I'm here to help you as a first-time home buyer and a buyer who's looking to purchase their next home with confidence and ease. Because for me, it's not about just selling your home, but truly educating you on making the best choice for yourself and your family, so that 60 days, 90 days as you're living in your home, you're not living with regrets, but you are living with joy, happiness, and confidence. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all tomorrow.